Mr. Smith. How are you doing this
I'm
afternoon?
doing all right, yourself?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
So it seems you've been having difficulty with word finding. So when you're talking, you know what you want to say, but it just doesn't come out right.
Mhm.
In what situations is this the most difficult for you?
A lot of times at work, I communicate a lot on the radio, and it's really difficult for the people on the receiving end. And I work in an environment where they need to know what I'm trying to talk about, and it's very inconvenient.
All right. Well, today I've developed some activities that should hopefully help you with your word finding difficulties. All right. So for your first activity, we're going to use these category cards. They're numbered 1 through 6. The first one is appearance. The second one is texture. The third one is use. The fourth one is smell. Oops. The fifth one is taste. And the sixth one is name. Can you name the item? We'll do an example before we start too.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to give you these sheets here. They're numbered 1 through 6 to correspond with the numbers on the cards, okay? So that way we don't lose track of where we're at.
All right.
So here's your first item, and again, this is an example. You don't have to worry, there's no wrong answers. So for the first part, I want you to describe the appearance of this item. Like, what does it look like?
Looks like a stick.
Okay, why don't you write that down under number 1. Is there anything else you can think of that you'd want to write down about what it looks like?
Not really.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Number 2 is texture. What does it feel like?
Smooth.
All right, write that down under number 2.
Hard.
Okay, go ahead and write that down. Anything else you want to write down about the texture? No? All right. So we'll move to number 3. Number 3 is use. What is it used for?
You can't think of the word. What I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. Very good.
Right with it.
Okay. So let's move on to number 4. Is this the type of item that you would smell?
No.
Okay. Is it something you would taste?
Not unless you're a second grader.
Alrighty. And then what is the name of the item? Can you think of it?
It's a pencil.
Very good. So write that down in number 6. And then what I want you to do, did you find that out because you read it on there?
I did.
Will you write that down for me? You read it on the label? This is just to help me to see what strategies work for you for trying to come up with the words.
All right.
Okay, and I want you to circle number 6 because that's the one where you found out what the answer was.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so are you ready to do the real ones?
Sure.
Okay. So you can go ahead and set this paper aside and move on to the next one, and that way we don't mix anything up.
All right.
All right. So here is your first item. What does it look like? Number 1 is appearance.
Shiny.
Shiny, very good.
Gold.
Okay. Do other items that are similar to this, are they all gold?
Not necessarily.
Okay, why don't you write down what other colors that could come in? Silver, yes. Anything else you want to write down about the appearance?
I don't think so.
Okay. And number 2 is texture. What does it feel like?
It's got ridges.
Yes, it does have ridges.
It's also smooth.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's move on to number 3. What is it used for?
To, to lock, yeah, to lock things.
Okay.
Or unlock.
Yeah, why don't you write that down? Write lock and unlock. Can you tell me where it's used?
Houses, banks.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and write that
Padlocks.
down. Anything else you can think of about its use?
No.
No? Alrighty. Is this something you would smell?
No.
Alright. Is it something you would taste?
No.
Okay. And can you name the item?
I don't think so.
No?
Uh-uh.
Alright, that item is actually a key.
Alright.
Something you can do to help you remember it is when you were writing down house, sometimes people call it a house key.
Alright, yeah.
That would be maybe something you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go ahead and write down the word key on number 6. And I want you to circle it because number 6 is when we came up with the word. And then I want you to go through and read these these items that you wrote down about it out loud.
Shiny, gold, silver, ridges, smooth, unlock, houses, banks, padlocks, key.
All right, excellent. So we can set this off to the side. Are you ready for the next item?
Yes.
All right, so you can go ahead and flip that one over and change your sheet. Okay, so there's your next item.
It's also shiny.
Mm-hmm. Nothing else you can think of about it?
Not really.
Okay. How about its shape?
What shape would you call that?
Maybe cone shaped,
Yeah, cone shape, that'll work.
or even a triangle, if we're not being as specific.
Alright.
Okay. So number 2, texture. What does it feel like? You can open it up.
Feels smooth, sticky.
Mm-hmm. So write that down. And if at any point you think you know the word before we write down all the categories, go ahead and name it for me, okay?
Okay.
Anything else about its texture? Alright. What is it used for?
You eat it.
You're right, you do eat it. Anything else?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and smell the item.
Smells sweet.
Alright. Write that down. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a familiar item?
Yes.
Okay. How about, can you taste the item for me?
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead. What does it taste like?
Tastes like chocolate.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. So why don't you write that here
Alright.
under taste, and then here again under the name. And then I want you to circle number 5 because the taste is what made you come up with what the word was.
Okay.
Okay? Alright, so you can go ahead and flip that over and we'll move on to the next one. You got a nice little snack in at least.
Yeah, I know.
Here's your next one. So tell me a little bit about the appearance.
It looks like a book.
Oh, very good. It is a book. So go ahead and write that in number 6, because remember 6 is the card that says name.
Alright.
And then You can just go ahead and circle number 1 because that's when you figured it out right away.
Alright, sounds good. Move on?
Yep, go right ahead. I'll move this out of your way. Okay. Here is the next item. So tell me a little bit about what it looks like.
Square,
Okay,
rectangle,
alright, write that down.
it's gold,
Mm-hmm. Is gold the only color that would come in?
not necessarily.
Okay. Can you think of other colors that it would come in? Or more commonly comes in?
Probably black and white.
Okay. Is there anything else about it?
It says galaxy.
Alright, write that down. Okay, are you ready to move on to the next topic?
Yes.
Alright, so the next one is texture. What does it feel like?
Seems like everything you've given me is felt smooth.
You can write that down. Suppose I should have thought a little further into that, shouldn't I? That's okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. And the use. What is it used for? How is it used?
Starts with the C. Like back and forth between people.
Okay,
Help me out.
like conversation?
Yeah, communicating.
Uh-huh, very good. What else would you do with that? Would you leave it sitting there on the table? Would you hold it in your hand?
You bring it with you.
Okay,
You talk on it.
alright, write that down. Talk on it. Why don't you try holding it in your hand? Okay. Does that feel familiar to you?
Yeah, I just can't think of the word.
Let's go back to communicating. You communicate with people. When you do that, are you holding it in your hand?
It's up to your head.
Up to your ear. Okay.
It's a phone.
Alright, very good. I like the way you worked through that. So go ahead and
Number
circle
3.
number 3. Mm-hmm. And then I want you to write phone right there next to number 6.
Alright.
Alright. Awesome job working through that one. Alright. Your next item might be a little familiar because it's similar to our example. So what does it look like?
Looks like a pen.
Very good. Go ahead and circle number 1 and write pen and number 6. Alrighty. And here's our next item.
Cylinder.
Okay, write that down. Anything else about it?
Looks like a bottle.
Okay, write that down. Okay, do you want to move on to the next one, or is there more you wanted to write about its appearance?
No, that's good.
Okay, so the next one is texture.
It's wet.
Yes, it is wet. Anything else?
Not really.
What about
It's-
its temperature? I
it's
know that's
cold.
not exactly its texture, but
It's cold.
okay, write that down. Okay, do you want to move on to the next one?
Yes.
Alright. Use. What is it used for?
Refreshment.
Alright, write that down. Anything else you can think of? How would you use it?
Drink it.
Okay, write that down. Why don't you take a drink? Does that feel familiar?
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the next one. Does it have a smell?
Not really.
Okay. How about a taste? What did it taste like? You can take another drink if you want.
Tasted like nothing.
Okay, write that down. Okay, do you think you can name this item?
It's not coming to me.
No? Let's go back to number 2. You said it was wet and cold, and you drink it.
It actually just gave me a hint. It says water.
Okay,
That's what it is. It's water.
alright. And what kind of container is it in?
Bottle.
So what would,
Bottle of water.
or a water bottle.
Water bottle.
Alright, why don't you write that down? Okay, and what I also want you to write down on this one is that you saw the word water written on the bottle, and that helped you think of it. Yeah, just put label, very good. You can keep this here if you get thirsty.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe I should move it here. Sorry.
Fine.
Okay, and then here is your next item.
Pretty sure every item we've done has been shiny and smooth. So.
Okay, let's write it down though
Oh, okay.
anyway. What color is it?
Black.
Is that a pretty common color for this item?
I would say so.
Okay. Do you want to move on to the next one?
Sure. I guess my shiny or the smooth should go under this category.
That's okay. So do you want to move on to the next one then?
Yes.
Alright, how about the use? What do you do with those?
You
Go ahead and put them on. Is that helping you kind of think of it? What?
the glasses.
Yeah, very good.
They're not reading glasses, but they're sunglasses.
Oh, very good. So circle number 3, because that's the one that helped you figure it out. And then on number 6, because 6 is where we would name the item, I want you to write sunglasses. Good job figuring that out. Okay. Here's the next item. What does it look like?
Green
Mm-hmm.
rectangle.
Mm-hmm. Is that about all?
Yep.
Okay. What about the texture? You can open it up. Take the pieces out.
What's a word for bendy?
You can write bendy.
Bendy?
Mm-hmm. That's fine. You know what you're talking about, and I know what you're talking about, so.
Sticky?
Okay, sticky's good. Anything else? Alright. What do you use that for?
Chew it.
Alright, write that down. Anything else? Why do you use it? Why do you chew it?
For clean, fresh breath.
Alright, write that down. does it smell like?
Mint.
Mint, okay. Anything else?
No.
Alright. And what does it taste like?
Mint.
You can write that down.
Alright.
Can you think of what that word is?
It's gum.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Good job. Circle number 5, because that's what helped you figure it out. Alright. Get these out of your way. You can keep chewing it if you'd like.
It's okay, I'm not a big fan of gum.
Oh, okay. Alright. Sorry, I'm taking your cards
You're
here.
fine.
Alright, and here's your next item. What does it look like?
White.
Okay. Anything else about it?
Not really.
Alright. What's this?
Nozzle.
Okay, so it has a nozzle
Alright.
or a pump.
Pump, yeah.
Okay, so, oops, skipping one. How about the texture? So what does it feel like? You can go ahead and, yep, use the pump.
Wet. It's gonna be hard to write now.
It's okay, just rub it in. Just be thinking about the item as you're doing it. Try to remember, like, times you've used this item.
Mhm.
To maybe help you come up with the word.
Reminds me, when you get a sunburn, the
Mhm.
lotion. The
Lotion, awesome, very good job. Go ahead and circle number 2. Write down sunburn, because that helped you come up with it.
Alright.
Okay, and then I want you to write lotion on number 6, because that's the name of the item.
Alright.
Alright. And now we're on to our final item. Oh, you know what? Here you go. Here's some more sheets for you.
1 through 6.
Yes, please. Thank you. Alright. So tell me about the appearance of this item. What does it look like?
It's thin.
Thin? Mm-hmm. Anything else?
White.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that all? Alright. So number 2, texture. What does it feel like? You can open it up.
Sticky.
Mm-hmm. Is the whole thing sticky?
No, just the outer portion.
Okay, what does that middle part feel like?
Soft.
Okay. Right, anything else about it?
Backside's coarse. It's got it all.
Okay, write that down. Finally, an item with a different texture.
Yeah, no. And it's not very shiny.
Okay, are you ready to move on to the next one?
Yes.
Okay. So this one is for the use of the item. What do you use that for?
Covering a wound.
Okay, write down. You can just shorten it and write wound. Anything else about it? Alrighty. Is it something you would smell?
No,
Is it something you would taste?
probably not.
Okay. Good answer. Alright, and then finally, can you name the item?
Keep wanting to say the one where they cut the circulation off a tourniquet, but it's not. It's Bandage.
Okay, very good. It is a bandage. Sometimes people call them band-aids too. Alright, so that concludes our first activity.
Alright.
So do you feel like these cards helped you to kind of figure out and work through what the name of some of these items were?
I do. I think the feeling really helps me.
The feeling? I kind of noticed that too, because you would circle those ones and that's when you would kind of figure out the word. Alright, so are you ready to move on to our next activity?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, and for this activity, what I want you to do, this one's a lot easier. I'm gonna give you a topic, and I want you to tell me a story on that topic.
Alright.
So, for example, I might say, describe an adventure you took on a vacation.
Alright.
So you might tell me this story about going ziplining, and when you get stuck on a word, we're going to use these same cards and the same strategies to try to come up with the word. Only this time we won't be able to feel it, so it might be a little trickier.
Alright.
Alright, so then your first topic, do you have any questions first of all?
No, that makes
Okay,
sense.
excellent. So your first topic, we'll say buying your first home.
Alright.
Can you tell me something about that? And you can do a made-up story, a regular story that actually happened, whatever you want.
Like just describe the day that I bought my first home, or?
Sure, or a story that you think of related to that topic. The topic is just kind of a guide to get you to think about something to talk about.
Oh, alright. We bought our first home in October 2013. I can't really think of a story to go on.
Was there any stories? Did you have any kind of home projects or anything you did?
I built not a deck. It's made out of rocks.
Okay.
They're bricks.
Here, take your pen.
Alright.
Go ahead and write that down. Rocks and bricks. What does it look like? If you need to draw it out too, that's fine. Okay, sure. Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Sorry. It's not like a deck that's up in the air. It's on the ground.
Okay.
We got a fire pit on it, and it's
I'm sorry.
it's like we have a table and chairs on it.
Okay. Table and chairs. Alright. Let's move through our cards and see if we can think of it.
Alright.
Texture.
It's hard.
Hard. Okay. You can write that down.
Can I do the numbers on this too?
Oh yeah, sure.
Would that help?
Sure, yeah, definitely.
I'll do 2 pieces.
Okay. I've got plenty, so
Okay.
whatever you need to do.
Alright, so appearance.
So you want to go back to number 1, okay? Appearance.
It's kind of hard to describe.
So,
Should I put kind of like a deck?
sure. Sure, that would be fine.
Alright. And did I say for number? I think that's good for number 1.
Okay. Number 2 is texture.
It's hard.
Yep, you said hard. Mm-hmm. You said it was made of bricks and rocks. Anything else for texture you can think of?
I just keep thinking of the sand that's in all the cracks.
Yeah, write that down, definitely. Alright. anything else that's used for?
Not really. We use it like an extra room on the house. We have people over, and it's
Is it indoor or outdoor?
no, it's outdoor.
Okay, why don't you write down that it's outdoor? Anything
It's
else?
a patio.
Yes, very good. So write that down at number 6, yep. And then circle number 3.
All right.
All right, excellent.
Just on the spot.
Uh-huh. So you can continue your story. You said you built a patio. You did that by yourself?
Yeah. Well, my family helped out too, but it was a lot of work. It took us like 3 months to do.
Really?
Yep. And trying to think of anything else.
Are you ready for a new topic?
Yeah, that was a tough topic. We
Okay.
haven't had our house that long, so I don't have that many stories for it yet.
That's okay. I'm just going to give you one more topic, and that one's going to be a hobby of yours. I want you to tell me about a hobby of yours.
I do a lot of shooting. I'm a competitive marksman. I go out on Fridays and Sundays and sometimes Wednesdays when just trying to keep my wife happy. Whatever she lets me do, I do. You just want to know about it?
Yeah, just tell me whatever you want to about it.
We if I had $1 and I can't think of, you know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. Write down $.
Lotion's got my hands slippery. I can't open
Sorry
it.
about that. Okay. If it's what I'm thinking of, this is more of an abstract kind of concept. It's not something that has a look, is it?
No, it's not.
Alright, so why don't we go ahead and skip number 1.
Okay.
Alright. It's probably not something that has a texture either.
No.
Use. What do you use it for?
Like, I'm better than you, so here's $1 saying that I'm better than you.
Okay.
And if you prove me wrong, you get the $1. You
Alright.
know what I'm saying?
Yep, I know exactly what you're saying. So, why don't you write better than you? Okay. Anything else you can tell me about it?
Makes you feel really good when you win.
Okay. So just write that you like winning. What's a phrase that you would use when referring to this concept?
I don't understand.
How about something like, I blank you $20 that I'll win? Is that something you would say?
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. Does that phrase help you kind of think of what the word might be?
I keep thinking I exchange you, but I know it's not I exchange. It's I can't come up with it. It's frustrating.
All right, that's okay. That is okay. It's kind of difficult because these cards more so relate to
things.
actual objects.
Yeah.
So the cards aren't going to be as easy for these, but that helps me to know for next time that we need to work on other kinds of activities that will help you with these kinds of words.
I got you.
Is the word you're thinking of bet?
Yes, it is.
Okay, awesome. Why don't you write that down?
I'll make a number 6 in my own.
Okay. All right, and then what I want you to do is I want you to read everything you wrote about that one.
$1 better than you, like winning.
Mm-hmm.
Bet.
And exchange. Why don't you write exchange down too?
Exchange.
Because you kept thinking about that. So you would say, I
bet you $20.
$20. Awesome. All right. So that concludes our second activity. What did you think about that activity?
I think it helped a lot.
That second one, you think it did?
No, I'm still thinking about the first one. I
The
think
first one.
The first one helped a lot.
So using these cards.
Yeah.
So do you think that this is something you could do when you're at home outside of the therapy session?
Yeah, it's easy enough.
Yeah, so maybe if you're walking around the house and you see an item and you're like, oh, I know I should know what that is. I know I should be able to name that. Maybe you could pull out these cards and try to do that.
Think my way through it.
Yeah, and if there's any you just absolutely can't come up with, why don't you write those down and bring them in to me next week, and then we can work on an activity that incorporates those.
All right.
All right?
Sounds good.
Do you have any questions?
I do not.
All right, well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.